Hi guys, welcome to my channel ELUCIDATE, and today we are going to do or we are going to print this particular star pattern, right? This is one of the most trickiest interview question that can be asked. Recently, this question has been asked in an interview of second or third round of interview, that is in TCS organization, right? So this question has recently been asked, so we need to cover this particular topic as well, right? So the logic in order to print it, the logic that we need to follow is that that this part is divided into two parts. First divide it into two parts, okay? So this entire thing is being divided into two parts. We are going to divide it. How we are going to divide it, let's quickly understand without wasting any more time, right? So this is the first pattern. What is this the name of this pattern is right star pattern, as per my naming convention, as per my playlist that I'm going, right? So this is my right star pattern, okay? So in order to print this right star pattern, what we have done is that we have printed this pattern as well: 3 4 5, and the second one 2 3 4, 1 2 3 1 2 1, right? So this kind of pattern we have already printed, right? So in order to print right star pattern, first you have to print this thing, then this particular loop, right? After that, the only thing that is being done is that from 5 you have to print this inverted right star pattern. That is it. It is that simple, okay? But there is a catch, otherwise you won't be able to print this. Because I am going to give you a demo for that, right? So this is the pattern that you have to print. This is what is required over here. And in order to print it, first divide the first 5 lines. First print the right star pattern, okay? After printing it, just print the inverted right star pattern, and we have done the program of both these things as well, right? I hope you are able to understand, and the logic that we are going to make use in order to print this particular program is, let's get back to the lecture, okay? It's very easy. I won't take much time in order to deliver this lecture. Let's say the logic that we have been following is that what we have been following, that in order to print this, we are assuming, or we are following, or we are finding number of row count, right? So number of row count is 5. So it means that we are not now going to make change onto our base loop. It is just used for counting the number of times you are going to print these in asterisks in different lines. So in 5 lines you have to print 5 times asterisk, based upon the requirement 1 2 3 4 5. So that's why my loop will run from 1 to 5. This much is clear, right? Let's not think about the below pattern at this point of time. Let's not think. Let's say you have to only print the second pattern, that is the right star pattern. So it's very easy, okay? We have already done it. So I equal to 1, I less than equals 5, I plus plus, right? So the way I have been teaching is that I'm not touching this base loop. I'm not making any changes in this base loop. Whatever the changes we make, as we have studied, we are going to make changes in our printing loop. So first time what you have to print, let's say you have to print these 5 dots, and after that this, okay? So what was the requirement? I hope you guys are remembering. So in the first row you have to print 5 times dot, or let's say you have to 5 times print a. I'm just reiterating, this already has been covered, but still, right? So j equals 5, because 5 times you have to print it. And since j is greater than equal to 1, that is 1 in this case is I j plus plus, right? I hope this is clear. If not, please watch my previous lecture, okay? What we are going to print, we are simply going to print, let's say we are going to print a over here, okay? And after that, once it is done, now you have to print star immediately followed by this loop, okay? So in order to print it, let's say I am taking this time variable k, and in the first row I have to print only one time asterisk. So I'm starting with 1, and k, value of k is less than equal to I. Why I'm doing this, I have already told, but I will reiterate everything over here, right? So this is your right star pattern code. So what it is going to do is that with the help of base loop, it will run 5 times. First time it will print 5 times a, right? It will, the loop will start from 5. 5 is greater than equal to 1. So what it is going to do, again let me reiterate with the help of diagram. So 5 is greater than equal to I means 1, right? So it will print a. again I minus minus, see, sorry, j minus minus, it's going to be a decrementing loop, because first time you have to print 5 4 3 2 1, right? So the loop will decrease. Now the value of 4 is greater than equal to 1, yes, again it will print a. Again loop will decrease, the value of 3 greater than equal to 1. In the same way 5 times it will keep on printing a. And over here 1 less than equal to 1, which means that 1 is less than equal to 1. This condition is true, it will print star. This I have already told, right? In order to print it, so first try to print this particular part. So what we have done, we have printed right star pattern, remove a by space, right? So we have printed half of our requirement over here. Quickly, I won't take much time. So we have printed till here, right? Half of the requirement we have made. Now the tricky part comes over here, right? It's nothing tricky, but what I've told, how to print inverted star pattern, inverted right star pattern. In order to print inverted right star pattern, guys, what I told you, I have already taught you that, let's say you have to print this 4 3 2 and 1. Okay, so in order to print it, you have to print first, you know left star pattern, and then this particular thing, right? So in left star pattern, like 1 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 4. So number of rows are 4 over here, right? So your base loop will remain 4. Or you can say that you your you can start with, since there were 5 rows, so our base loop was taking the record of number of rows as 5. So 5 times it ran both the loops, and now the requirement is that only 4 rows are required to be printed. So our base loop will be starting with I equals 1 to 4, right? So we are not going to make changes in my logic, because you will get confused, and I am using only one same logic. Since my day one program, I'm using the same logic, right? That I'm not touching the base loop. Okay, so let's say intl equals 1, l less than equal to 4, and l plus plus, right? So over here what we are doing, now we are going to print 4 times, right? So this is our 4 times. Now you have to print something. So in order to print right star inverted pattern, first you have to print left star pattern, right? So let's say for int m equals, so on the first row you have to print only 1 time. So im equals 1, m less than equal to l, because 1 is less than equal to 1, so it will print only 1. Next time, a value of m will increase by 1, so 2 is not less than equal to 1, loop will terminate. Again, in here you have to print 2 times. So l value is 2, so m, so 2 is less than equal to 2, right? So 1, it will first start that 1 is less than equal to 1. It's okay, fine, it will print it, and then again the count will become to 2. L value is currently 2, so 2 is less than equal to 2, so again it will print that logic part, right? So we have already done it, right? No need to take worry about this, that this is a new thing. No, nothing, we have already done it. Well, just quickly print it out over here. And now you just have to print, let's say you are printing c, right? And after that you have to print this. So requirement is that on the first row 4 times you have to print asterisk. So we remember that, let's take a variable, let's say n equals 4. So 4 times you have to print, start the loop with 4. N greater than equal to l value is 1, so 4 3 2 1. How it is printing, I'll quickly show you. Again, I have told you number of times, but let's again try to understand. Okay, so you have to print 4. Your requirement is to print 4. So what is the loop? N equals 4. So 4, and what is the condition? N greater than equal to l. Value of l is first time 1. 4 greater than equal to 1, yes, it will print this, right? Again the loop will decrease, value of 4 will become 3. So is 3 greater than equal to 1? Yes, it will print this. Again this n value will decrease, it will get to 2, 2 greater than equal to 1, yes, again it will print in the same line. And then finally n minus minus 1 greater than equal to 1, yes, again value satisfied, it will print this over here. Again the loop will decrease, 0 greater than equal to 1, condition false, loop will terminate, right? So 4 times it has printed. Similarly the same thing goes with when the value of L becomes 2, so n greater than equal to 2, so 4 3 2, so it will print 4, sorry, 4 3 2, right? Again the value of L will keep on increasing to 3, so 4 and 3, right? So 4 greater than equal to 4, it will print 1, or 4 greater than equal to 4, right? So this is how we printed our inverted right star pattern, right? We are already printing this particular pattern, left star pattern. This is the logic of printing left star pattern followed by this, right? But there would be a catch. This is the very important part. Remember, important part starts now. This is the important part that I'm going to discuss over here. So first let's print it out something, right? What our requirement was that we had to print a star over here, right? And let's give it a break. So print ln, I don't know, oh, sorry. Okay, let's try to print it. See what is happening. Instead of C, space was required. Okay, now there is a catch. You need to understand. We have been able to print this particular star pattern, left star, sorry, inverted left star pattern followed by right star pattern. Then we were able to print this particular pattern. We printed star pattern 1, that is left star pattern, and then we inverted it, right? But here what it is going to do, again I am just printing some value, then you will be able to understand, right? See, we need one more space over here so that it comes in alignment of this. Over here, the alignment is not clear, right? The alignment is not good. See, this star needs to be shifted just one more space to the right. And similarly, all the lines. So how to do that? We need just one more spacing. In order to do that, this is your trickiest part. This is the logical part. See, we are able to print now onto the exact fashion. Why? Because what this loop is doing, if you want to understand what this loop is doing, print B over here and try to print A over here, right? And do control F. See, in order to push this, if we are not making use of this loop and if you just run it, see, we need just one more space over here. In order to push it a little bit more right, what I am doing is that I am adding one for loop so that it only prints. See, it is hard coded, it is not else, this is 1, right? So 1 is less than equal to 1, so every time when this below loop is getting printed, this is your first upper loop, right? This is your upper loop got printed, but every time when your this second loop needs to be get printed, what is second loop? This 4321 part, and extra space is required after A so that it gets in aligned, because it is not aligned improperly, right? So in order to do that, guys, I have added only one loop, one for loop which runs only one time, and only one time. What it is going to do is that in front of A it is going to print B. That is it, right? If not, you are able to understand, just put A. So every time, see, this is printing 1 2 3 4, so every time I'm just printing one extra space over here, right? So let's replace it with the help of space and just run it. See how beautifully this star pattern has printed. So this was the whole essence or the crux. In order to print, again I'm reiterating, if you remove this loop is only printing one single space. If you remove it, you will not be able to print this pattern. You will get confused because recently the guy got confused who was giving the interview. That's why I'm saying it is one of the trickiest question, right? Everything is the same, everything is remaining easy, everything you do not have to learn. The only thing that you have to understand is that If you put one space over here, it will keep on adding one space every time. So right, because requirement over here is that not one star, right? Requirement over here is not to print only one a, right? The requirement is to print one more space along with a, right? Then it will get aligned. I hope you are getting. So this loop is this particular loop, a loop, and this is what the space which is I am replacing it with b. I hope I have made sense. Finally replace all of them quickly and just run them. See how perfectly the loop runs, right? So this is very easy. We know each and everything, we know each and every logic how to build this program. It was very easy. I hope you guys have liked and enjoyed the lecture. Please stay tuned because I am going to cover one more interview question that was being asked in, I think, Accenture, right? Please stay tuned. Thank you. Thank you for your time and thank you for your patience.